People talk a lot about Excel formulae, but consultants know most Excel problems aren't formula problems, they're data problems. Most Excel users work reactively, constantly fixing things, but what if you could avoid fixing things altogether? Today I'll walk you through the 4 pillars of my Excel data management system. To get started with data management in Excel, we've got to think about input first. Yes, input. How is data coming into the spreadsheet? How can we control how it comes in to avoid problems later? Let's get into the spreadsheet. So tables. Tables are the best way to organize your data in Excel. How do you create a table? Go ahead, select your table, Home tab, Format as table, and this will give you a table. You can choose your format options there. Now, I've already created this table, so just be aware of the name of the table. You can name it what you want here. Now, this is going to be important later when we talk about import and transforming data. Your table needs an informative name. So we have a table. Now we've got to think about data validation. How can we control the data going into each column? Now, a drop-down menu is a very popular and well-known form of data validation. This drop-down is dynamic. You can check out our video, the Excel Blueprint, recent video linked below to see how to easily create a dynamic drop-down menu. But I want to talk about some more underutilized data validation techniques. Numeric data validation. We don't see it enough in Excel spreadsheets. So I have a data validation rule here, which means I have to put a number in. Now that's great, but we can do more than that. And you can see here, I've inputted an error alert, a custom error alert here. Why do we do this? Well, we want to transform our relationship with the user. We don't just want to be telling off the user. We want to be proactive. The consultant is proactive. We want to guide the user. Now, that's what these error alerts are doing, not just telling them off, guiding them and telling them what to do next. So this is recommended. Also, in terms of user guidance, what about these headings at the top of the table? What do they tell the user? They tell the user how to input the data. DD for dropdown. There's formally here 3 inputs and tick boxes. Once again, proactively guiding the user. This is what the consultant does. Now, one thing I'm not keen on in this table is the formula column here. It's not good to have formulae mixed in with user input columns because those formulae might be accidentally deleted. Now, later in the video, we're going to see how to instantly transform your data to change the column order. All of the formulae column should really be on the end. We're going to see how to do that later. But for the time being, how could we protect these formulae? This is good data management in Excel when we're talking about data input. So to protect the formulae, well, we could right click on any cell and go to format cells and just go to protection. You can see by default cells are locked. So it's not a case of thinking which cells do we want to lock, rather which cells do we want to unlock. So I'm clear. These are my input columns, Alt-H-O-E. On the Windows PC, I'm going to unlock them. And the same thing for these 2 input columns. I can just go ahead, hit the F4 key to repeat the last action. Now what's going to happen when we go to data, review rather, and protect sheets, we can see our options here. Now usually select lock cells is ticked. We want to untick that. We don't want the user to select the locked cells. We do want the user to be able to select the unlocked cells. And then optionally, you can use a password here to protect the sheet. So we can now hit OK. What we should find is when we try to go to these formula columns, we can't click on them. So now our sheet is protected, an essential part of data input, data management in Excel. But you might be saying to me, Chris, my data input, it doesn't use a spreadsheet at all. I need to get data from multiple people in different locations. Well, if you're trying to do that, a very user-friendly and controlled way to do it is using Excel forms. Yes, I love Excel forms. They look great. They work on PC, work on your phone, work on your laptop. The data is automatically collated in an online Excel spreadsheet. Our beginner video is linked below. So those data input techniques are cool, but what if you don't need to input data to the spreadsheet at all? Rather, you want to collate data sets together from multiple files. So if you're working with data sets in multiple files, how to bring those data sets together into a single file. Yes, the best way to import data. Well, we've got two files open here, and you might say, well, Chris, it's easy to get data from one file to another. We've got our February data in this file. I can just click in the file, then click across into the other file after I've started a formula here, click on a cell, and you can see we can bring the data in this way. The formula is going to contain the file name. So I don't recommend doing this. I've seen so many files like this over the years. It creates all kinds of problems, all kinds of inefficiencies. There is a better way. So let's take a look. We're going to go ahead back into our original file. We're going to go to Data, Get Data, and then we're going to go to From File, From Excel Workbook, and then we're going to select the file that we're using, which I know is Data Management Download File V2. We can click Import. The first thing we're going to do is just connect the data to Power Query. And you can see I'm benefiting here from having an informatively named table. I can just click Table Data. We're going to go to the Load option right at the bottom of Excel and just go to Load To for the time being. We don't want to output the data yet. We just want to get it loaded up into Power Query's memory. So only Create Connection will do for now. So now I can see the connection there. I want to go ahead and do the same thing for our other data set. So this time we're going to Get Data, From File, From Excel Workbook. I'm selecting the other file this time, Data Management Download File 2, clicking on Import. This is going to import the data to the file. Once again, benefiting from an informatively named table. I don't want to transform the data yet. That's coming. We're going to go Load To. And once again, we're just going to create the connection. Cool. So now we can go back to our original file. I can see we've got two connections. So the data's there. We're just not outputting it to the file yet. So to do that, we go back to Data, Get Data. We're going to combine queries. We're going to append these data sets, put one data set on the top of the other. Go ahead, click Append here. And then we have two tables we're working with. The first table, Table Data, and the second table, Table Feb Data. We can click OK. We're going to go into the Power Query interface. Now, so much cool stuff in the Power Query interface. We're going to see later in the transform section some of the cool stuff we can do. For now, just say close and load, and you can see Excel has created a new worksheet called Append 1, and I can see both of our data sets appearing here. Now, not particularly tidy yet. We're going to tidy this up, transform this data later. But first, can we prove that this data link is live? And to do that, I'm going to go to the February data sheet. Going to just create another entry here. Let's suppose Frodo had 2 walks on these days. Lucky lad. Going to save the file, Control S, back to our original file, and we can just click here. Update the query. What would we expect? We can see an additional line of data coming into our append there. How cool is that? How cool is that? So we've set up a live data link between 2 files, and this is easy to control. So much cool stuff that we can do to it later. This is the way to do data import. Welcome to the year of your Excel success, but this isn't really about Excel. It's about you. Each month we build one skill step by step, no overwhelm, just steady progress with me and people like you. Because when you put your energy into the right skills, when your ladder is leaning against the right wall, everything gets easier, your work gets clearer, your confidence grows. So join the next live session and make this year the year you finally feel in control of Excel and of your career. Click subscribe to join the journey, links below. Sometimes, despite data validation and proper data import, the data we end up with is still not clean. So how can we quickly and easily clean data? Many powerful features in Excel for quickly cleansing data. Let's look at 2 now. So back into the spreadsheet, the query we just created, we can expand it a little to cleanse data. For example, if we wanted to get rid of these empty rows, let's click on the table to query in the top right and then edit. This takes us to the Power Query interface, which can be an intimidating place, but don't worry, it's actually quite easy to do some data cleansing here. So we can go to the date column. I'm just going to say remove empty, and we can see over on the right, we have an applied step. So Power Query uses the concept of steps to explain how it's cleansing the data. And we can see in the preview, we've lost our empty rows there. So I'm going to go ahead, say close and load. We should see the table update, and that's how easy it is to use Power Query to cleanse data. But what approach do I actually use as a consultant? I want to deal with this kind of thing proactively. Well, Power Query is great, but it's a little bit clunky, waiting for queries to load, having to save files for data to update. I like good old Excel formulae to get the job done. So let's suppose this is the data we wanted to cleanse. My first step would always be to use the unique formula to give me a sense of the unique values in the data set. This instantly tells me what the problems are. What are the problems? I can see here somebody spelled Luna's name wrong. She's just outside. She's not going to be happy about that. And I can see here Kuda's name has been spelled wrong too. So how do we take this forward? Go ahead and create a list with legitimate entries. These entries are okay. Then we're going to compare each entry to that list using COUNTIF. So the range is going to be our legitimate entry range. And then we want to test each entry against this range. So 1 means the entry is legitimate. That seems to make sense looking over on the left. And 0 means there's a problem with this entry. So we're highlighting the data that's problematic. Now I know there's 2 possible issues. So this formula is telling me which issue applies here. If we do that, we can then apply fixes. And here is where we unleash Excel's fantastic data cleansing worksheet formulae. Underutilized, incredibly powerful. Things like left, right, mid, trim, clean, substitute, highly recommended. Here I've used left to just remove that letter that we don't need, the R at the end of at the end of Luna's name. Here we've used substitute to substitute in the K for the C in CUDA. Now at the end, I've done something a little bit fancy with match and switch to consolidate the data, but we can see our beautifully clean data set at the end. We don't have time to talk through all of this. The download file is available for you to click through. So 2 options there. Power Query, yes, a bit clunky. Personally, I like good old worksheet formulae for data cleansing. So we've got the data in the file and the data's clean, but what if the data is just not structured right? What are the options? The last step in data management is to transform your data. Yes, can we get it looking exactly how you want it? Can we change column orders? Things like that. It's all possible in Excel. Back to the spreadsheet. The tool of choice here is Power Query. So I'm working with the query we've already set up. I've clicked in the table. I'm going to go to edit. So this takes us to the Power Query interface. What might I want to do here? Well, this column is a bit redundant, isn't it? This paid column, it just says true or false. Could we just get rid of that altogether? I'm going to go ahead, right click and click remove. I can see an applied step has been added, removing the columns, close and load just to confirm that Power Query has adopted this change. And we can see that change now. What about reordering columns? We mentioned earlier, we prefer to have this owner column at the end of the data set. So once again, clicking in the table, going to edit, takes us to the preview, and it's just a case of dragging these columns wherever you want them to go. I'm going to take it all the way to the end of the data set. I can see this applied now in the applied steps, close and load. Back to the spreadsheet, and we should see the reordering of the columns there coming through, and there it is. So something a little more ambitious. What about parsing out this date? Could we have the day, the month, and the year in a different column? Something I often do when I'm doing data analysis involving dates. So we're going to go edit and then transform here. The column is selected. I'm going to go to split column by delimiter. And you can see our delimiter is going to be our slash that we have in the date. we can go ahead and hit OK, and we can see 3 more columns in the data. So I'm going to go home, close, and load to the spreadsheet. Now you could give these columns more informative names. Date 1 is the day, date 2 is the month, and date 3 is the year. How cool is that? So I've got the February data file back open now, and just to complete this, can we put some data in the February data and see it update brought into the consolidated data? So to do that, I'm just going to put a completely different date in here. And let's say Luna is having another walk. I'm going to save this file, Control S, and then back to our query. Let's go ahead, data and refresh all is usually the way I refresh these queries. And let's see, yes, we can see almost instantly our data coming in at the bottom there. So this is data management in Excel, the last step, that transformation. This is the way to do it. Now, data management can feel like something of a double-edged sword because as Excel people, sometimes we want to save the day. We want to be the person called on to fix something so we can get a report done just in time. But the truth is, with data management, you don't need to be fixing problems all the time. And with data management skills, you can impact situations in a less visible, but much more impactful way long-term. So I hope you too get value out of our data management system. Today, we've learned how to manage data in Excel like a consultant. If you're following the year of your Excel success, don't forget to subscribe. The next video to watch is right here.